What's up guys, RGT85 here, and you guys know I like these Arcade1UP cabinets. I think they're fantastic. I picked up the Street Fighter one back in October of 2018, put it together, and I've been absolutely enjoying it. You got 3 great versions of Street Fighter 2 on there. Just timeless games in my opinion, fantastic fighting games, and games that are definitely worth playing today. Then recently I picked up the Final Fight cabinet, which had 4 Capcom classic arcade games on it, and I've been enjoying that too. Really well built system, and I've really been enjoying those games on there. Games like Strider, you know, games that you don't really see all that often when it comes to Capcom arcade releases on home consoles. The arcade version of Strider was so much fun. But out of the first batch of games, the one that I really wanted was Mortal Kombat. Of course, Mortal Kombat and Final Fight were supposed to release in May, but many Walmarts have been stocking them a bit early. I was able to find my Final Fight Arcade1UP cabinet about 25 minutes away from me, but I was holding out hope that Mortal Kombat would be at my local Walmart, so I wouldn't have to drive all around to find one. Well, I was checking BrickSeek, and BrickSeek actually was showing inventory of whether or not these were in stock at your local Walmart, so that way you could try to save some time. But then they disappeared from BrickSeek, and honestly I got pretty concerned because I want my Mortal Kombat Arcade1UP cabinet. Well, thankfully I had a friend of mine call the local Walmart today while I was working on something just for the hell of it to see if they had one in stock, and they did. They had one and they would not hold it. So I hopped in my car, drove down there, and now I am the proud owner of a Mortal Kombat Arcade1UP arcade cabinet. Maybe I should start my own arcade in my house now.
Howdy folks, come on down to the RGT85 arcade where we got the latest and greatest arcade video games for you to play. You want to play Final Fight? We got it. You want to play Street Fighter? We got it. You want to play Mortal Kombat? We got it. And for a limited time only, you can get 8 pizza rolls and an ice cold Sprite for just $8.50 along with a 1-hour unlimited gameplay time. So come on down to RGT85 arcade. Woohoo!
Now, as far as assembling the Mortal Kombat Arcade1UP arcade cabinet, it's pretty much just like all the other ones I have. You follow the instructions, you put this screw here, you do this, you do that, and the next thing you know, it all starts coming together. I did mess up one portion of this. I put the wrong screws in the wrong hole for one thing, and I was like, why isn't this working out? And so that sort of impeded my time, but it took me about 45 minutes to assemble this whole thing. But once I had it assembled, I realized that there was actually a very big problem, and I was very, very concerned. I went to play some original Mortal Kombat, and when I did, I picked Sub-Zero. And when I went to go to throw the ice ball at my opponent, it wouldn't throw it. And I was like, what the hell's going on here? And so I was hitting down on the joystick, and I noticed that it would not crouch. Sub-Zero would not crouch. So I went back to the main menu, I started trying to cycle through the different games, and down was not working. So I got very nervous about it because I thought, great, you know, I got this, it's the last one that they have, and it's not working. But I remember seeing a video on Arcade1UP's website where you could just pop off the control panel of the actual system. So I went ahead and did that, and I looked around. Now, admittedly, I didn't know what the hell I was looking for, but there's basically wires going to different pins, and there's a little connector for each of the pins. I found the up-down pin for the first player joystick, and notice it actually had became loose. So I popped that back in there, put everything back together, and thankfully, everything is now working great. But how is the emulation on this? How are the games playing? And are there any additional problems with it? That's what we're gonna find out now. All right, so we are at the main menu of the Mortal Kombat Arcade1UP machine. You can see that we have Mortal Kombat, Mortal Kombat 2, and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. First thing I noticed is there's a little noise when you cycle through the games, which is the first, as far as I know, to have that feature. My Street Fighter arcade cabinet, my Final Fight one, there's no noise when you're cycling through the games. So I don't know, that's kind of cool. But there is one problem when you're at this screen. There's a hissing noise. It's very faint, but you could definitely hear it when you're, you know, playing this and just are sitting in front of it. I'm going to try to pick it up on the camera for you guys. So I don't know if you were able to hear that or not. I put the microphone up to the speaker slot, but it's not in any of the games or anything like that. So I don't know, it's just kind of weird that it's there, but it is kind of noticeable when you're at the main menu. Not a huge deal, but something worth mentioning, I feel. So let's just jump into the original Mortal Kombat, check it out, and see how it plays. Let's go with a little Scorpion here. Have the classic lineup: Shang Tsung, Goro, Raiden, however you want to say it. I usually say Raiden, but I don't know. The thing about Mortal Kombat in the arcade is that the... Oh, that's so satisfying. was the AI was cheap as hell, and like you had to be cheap in order to be successful at the game. Which, I don't know, that's kind of why I always like Street Fighter a bit more, because I felt like, you know, it required a bit more skill. You couldn't just, you know, spam a punch attack or something. I wonder if I remember Scorpion's fatality. I think it's block down, up, down, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see anyways. So you have your main buttons, of course. You have high punch, low punch, high kick, low kick. All right, let's see if we can pull this off. I can't do it. And then you also have a run button for when you are playing Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. It just acts as another block on the Mortal Kombats 1 and 2. I will say that, you know, the screen, once again, is definitely very nice. There is a bit of an improvement over the Street Fighter Arcade1UP cabinet, I feel. It's a lot like the same screen that we saw at Final Fight. So yeah, you know, it plays well, it looks good, it sounds good for the most part. Would have been nice to have stereo speakers, I will always mention that. But yes, it is classic Mortal Kombat action, and now I'm not even just trying anymore. This is just ridiculous. I'm gonna have to get my Mortal Kombat up. But yeah, let's check out Mortal Kombat 2 now. Alright, so now we're going to take a look at Mortal Kombat 2. Obviously, this is one of the pinnacles of the Mortal Kombat series for many people, myself included. All of the artwork done on this system is done in the Mortal Kombat 2 style. You have Raiden on the side of the system, looking very cool. And one thing I did want to mention very briefly, though, is the red stripe. You might notice that there is a red stripe along the side of the Mortal Kombat 2 arcade cabinet. It actually comes that way. The Street Fighter one that I had, I actually put a blue stripe on via sticker on the system. The Final Fight one comes black, but I think the black looks good on that. But I like the red on this. I think it looks very nice, it looks very clean, and it makes the system pop just a little bit more. And one thing I also did want to mention is this system does come with bat tops as opposed to the ball tops, which is better for fighting, as anyone would tell you that. So before we take a look at Mortal Kombat 2, I do just want to show you guys the different volume settings that are on here so you guys can hear how the speaker itself sounds. So that was from mid to high, so you can hear that there is a bit of a difference there. Once again, the middle sound is good enough for me. I'm not very picky as long as I can hear it. I remember the first time I saw this and played Mortal Kombat 2 was at a Dutch's location. I was eating there with my grandmother, and I saw Mortal Kombat 2. They had a Mortal Kombat 2 arcade cabinet, and I was just like, holy crap, this is awesome. You know, as a kid, you didn't really know like exact release dates of games and stuff like that. The only way you would really know is if you looked in a GamePro, or you just went to like a restaurant and they had a little arcade there or something like that, or if you went to the arcade. But yeah, Mortal Kombat 2 is playing beautifully. Like, this game is so good. I love the sound of the game. I love the controls are very nice and precise. The buttons all feel very good. Very easy to control all of your characters. I don't know Sub-Zero's finisher. Or fatality, excuse me, but at least I got my W there. So yeah, you know, Mortal Kombat 2 looks great, sounds great, plays great. Definitely one of my favorite games in the Mortal Kombat series, and it was a series that I definitely, you know, stopped playing. But Mortal Kombat 11 has definitely made me very interested in the series again. We got Shao Kahn back there, we got Kano, you know, holding on to his own. So yeah, good stuff. Let's check out Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 now. And now it is time for Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, the one game that uses the run button as well as all the other buttons in the game. And, you know, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 was just so good. Like, look at this roster. I love this song, too. Like, these are the characters I think of when I think of Mortal Kombat. Let's go with Kano. I'm not really I'm good with Kano on Mortal Kombat 11, but I never really played as Kano on the arcade versions or any of the old versions. Oh, it's so satisfying. That was one of the coolest things. I thought Alright, I don't know any of his moves, so this is going to be ugly. But Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 introduced, you know, a lot of balancing. They fixed a lot of things, and they just made the game better. They made Mortal Kombat 3 better, because Mortal Kombat 3 wasn't a bad game. It was missing characters. It wasn't as good as the other ones, you know? So this is awesome. Like, this is perfect replication. The music, like, I'm getting so many flashbacks to my childhood right now. Like, it's crazy. Oh, I'm gonna play this for I don't know Kano's finishers. Maybe we got lucky there. But yes, you could see Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 looks fantastic. I'm very happy with this system. Like, this is just such a cool thing to own. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. I'll give you guys my final thoughts on the Mortal Kombat Arcade1UP arcade system. So what do I think about the Mortal Kombat Arcade1UP arcade cabinet? I mean, it kicks ass. Mortal Kombat, to me, just screams early 90s arcade, when it smelled like pizza and soda and everything was gross and sticky. Like, it was just a quintessential arcade game. There were so many hidden characters. How do you fight this character? How do you get to this character? Nudalities and shit like that. Like, it was just absolutely crazy during the early 90s, and if you weren't there for it, you probably wouldn't understand it. But as a nostalgic person, I am very pleased with this. I love the cabinet's artwork. I love that it's still very easy to assemble. I do have a few minor problems, like I talked about in my review of it. There are some things that could be improved, I feel, but for the most part, you know, it's worth it. I'm just building a fleet of these now. I'm having to rearrange stuff in my game room, but I absolutely love it. I'm definitely taking a break from Arcade1UP arcade cabinets, because these are the three main ones I wanted. But of course, there's been rumors about NBA Jam being in production, and now I'm hearing things like Turtles and The Simpsons. It could get absolutely crazy. But let me know in the comments section down below what you think of the Arcade1UP lineup of arcade games, what arcade games you would like to see, and if you plan on picking up the Mortal Kombat Arcade1UP arcade cabinet. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Check out other videos on Arcade1UP and video game stuff in general on here. And as always, I will catch you guys on the next video. Later.